was another one. But anyway, I died.
Are you trying to say
Yes.
Dr. Joyce Crothers? I think her name was.
I think so. I think so.
I'll fact check while you're talking. Keep going.
Fact check, because don't have me out in these streets like you know who.
That will never happen.
That shit ever be. But my point to her, and relevant to this conversation is, if you're chasing something because it looks good, then prepare to be disappointed. And prepared to not have the juice to really push you through to the end of the race.
Right.
Like, you have to be able to, there are times where you got to dig deep. And if the deepest you can dig is like 1.2 inches, you probably don't have the resources to get going where you're going. Did I answer your question? I feel like I got lost in my own.
No, you absolutely did. But that
Okay.
leads us to another question about the social influencers. So, I'm going to say it, right? Devil's advocate.
You heard me smacking my lips. That was intentional. I want everybody to know. That's intentional in your ear. Here he go.
You, like your daughter, apparently do your own special effects. You come with a snap track.
That's where she gets it from.
Yeah, she is her mama's child. So, devil's advocate. I'm a social influencer. I've been endorsed by XYZ company to push XYZ products. Why should I concern myself with my followers outside of them purchasing XYZ products from XYZ company so I can get my commission? Like, what is my responsibility in your greatness when everything you do magnifies mine?
I don't think there is a responsibility. I don't think. I guess I have some negative bias towards social influencers that might need to be checked.
Check it live on it.
You just wait till this podcast is over. I'm a social influencer. I don't think you do have a responsibility at all. I think that if you were trying to push a product that is in misalignment with your own personal goals, or should not say goals, values, you might want to do some thinking about that. Like, how much are you willing to sell your soul for that piece? But to your followers, I don't think so. I think you're just doing your job.
So the metaphor I'm doing is tobacco companies. Tobacco companies push nicotine all over the place. You see ads when you go into your local stores, some late night television, lots of internet, and there are a lot of places that restrict where you can place a tobacco ad. But by and large, if you want to see cigarettes, whatever, you see them. They're behind the counter, wherever the case is. So there's this whole movement against tobacco companies for pushing this in people's faces and preying upon people's weakness and people's distress and all of this. And I say, well, isn't it the person's responsibility to not buy the cigarette? So,
let's not
I'm drawing that correlation between the social influencer and these vices that we have out in the world.
Okay.
And I'm trying to sort of gauge like how close metaphorically, or how close correlatively those two things are.
For me, the piece that's the same is that let's not forget that capitalism is a machine. Like a lot of what we're talking about underneath,
right,
where the superficiality part comes in, where the problem comes in, it really is a byproduct of capitalism.
Right.
Somebody makes something and somebody better buy it so I can make some money off of it.
Right.
And the people that are making something are relentless in getting it sold. And so, of course, they prey upon us and our psychology and our weaknesses. And there are people that, you can get a degree in marketing for a reason.
Right.
They study this. I actually have a colleague here at U of H in the College of Business, and he studies the science of selling and marketing. Like, he was breaking down to me about what music they play at what BPMs and what types of music is played to create a mode at certain times of the day in grocery stores in order to maximize profit.
Absolutely. And
Right?
to that, when we're sending music from the TE record labels over to various different companies for consideration, we
Hashtag
take into
cross promotion.
consideration hashtag cross promotion. We take into consideration if it's a gym, if it's a store, retail spot. A lot of our house, deep house, tech tracks, all of that on the T2 digital label, hot all over Europe, all over North America, because of that. When you're inside of a store, especially a 20-something, and you walk inside of one of these stores and you hear one of these hot house tracks playing, it incentivizes you to buy. So I had to learn that in doing music licensing. I had to learn that very thought. You have to understand the psychology of how music and visuals play into a person's buying. Absolutely.
So social media is all of that, except that we're the ones doing it. It's cheaper for companies to use social media in that way than it is for them to create these massive marketing campaigns like social influencers. And then we do it ourselves. I mean, that is what social media is. We take something and we sell it.
Right. We have about 10 minutes left in the podcast, so we have to change gears for a moment.
We're going to switch gears?
We're going to change them. I know, I shouldn't do that because I'm not really one for a stick. Here's the thing. Let's talk about two of the hot hashtags of the week. I feel as though we need to do like a monthly hot hashtag show where we just talk.
I like it.
Right, and just go back on that. So that's something to think about for next season. But let's talk about some hot hashtags. I want to talk to you because it sort of plays into what we're talking about with social influencers. I want you to level up for me right now with this Ciara in which she told the sisters, you need to level up by and you're trying to be a wife but you're acting like a girlfriend in these streets. Level up. And then, you know, of course, Twitter, being what it is, came for her in a way that she wasn't expecting.
I don't know why, though. I mean, I feel like she should have known she was setting herself up when she put that out there.
Okay. Then she responds to it, and in her response, she basically says, and I'll go through it. So the caption of the actual video was, "You're not a wife when I marry you. You're a wife when I find you." And Ciara captioned the short video with "level up." All right. And she responded to people by saying, I was once that girl wanting to be loved a certain way, but was making the wrong choices. I found myself at my lowest moment. I was a single mom sitting at home, and then I realized that the perfect love I was looking for was how God loves me, how he wants me to be loved, and how he was calling me to be as a woman, calling me to be as a man and a woman. That's when I realized, married or not, I needed to love myself. Hashtag level up. What do you say?
Okay, so I mean, if she is talking about self-love, I don't know. I got a lot of feelings about it. Okay, let me try to unpack. You just love it. You just love it when I get like this, don't you?
I do.
You try to
because you're so
all of my
professional.
feelings.
You're so professional 15% of the day that
And trust me, this is like 10% of my 15.
10 of the 15 right here for
Right
this
here,
90-minute
this podcast.
podcast.
Okay, so here's the thing. Let me start there. Let me start here, and let me start here as my primary source of frustration. Being somebody's wife ain't the end all be all. Like, how is that a goal in terms of your own self-worth and value? That's one. Two, even if you do aspire to be married, does it make you a better woman than me? Does it mean you're getting better love? Whatever that means than me. I don't understand how marriage versus not marriage, being a girlfriend versus being a wife, has anything to do with being treated with dignity and respect and care and concern and being loved in a way that feels respectful for you.
Okay. And to your point, to that point right there, that's where I had a little bit of an issue with her until she did her explanation, which she had to, right? Because you know how the mea culpas go. I put my foot in my mouth, so now let me explain away. But even that, I said, but that's still not what you said. That's, you clearly put something out there in which you said, hey, I was acting like a girlfriend. I allowed someone to treat me like a girlfriend, and I am a wife. So
I don't even know what that means, though. I guess
that yeah, right. So what does that mean? Because is it this mentality that the girlfriend should be treated less than? I don't know what that means. Whether you have the title of wife or girlfriend, you are still a person who's in relationship with someone. You should be treated with respect, regardless of title. That's how I look at it. But
let me tell you something. So one, I feel like that is such a heterosexist patriarchal view on marriage. Like you like literally this antiquated idea of like you're the prize. So my value is leveled up because I got chose as a wife. I have somebody in my family, a close family member of mine, and they have never been married to their partner, and they've been in a relationship with their partner in a heterosexual relationship for 20 some years. And when I tell you the love is strong, the love is so strong. So for me, marriage has never been this end all be all sort of thing. And then I think it also cuts out a whole like subsection of the population. Like, what if you're lesbian?
Right.
And you go look up until just a few years ago, was it possible for you to get leveled up? So your love wasn't on the same level as the married women?
Right.
I just find so,
and when I
that
know,
whole narrative so problematic.
To be true, to steal your catchphrase, right? What I know to be true is that there are LGBT relationships that have been together longer than many heterosexual relationships that I know. I've had friends who've gotten married and divorced 3-4 times, and gay couples are still holding it down in relation with each other. So what you leveling up to? Leveling up to the reality that you don't know what you're talking about? I'm confused. I need to read this real quick from Twitter. Here's some of the comments on that. Desus Nice says, Sierra had ringless Twitter angry this morning, but the Eagles turned that around. And they did. Shout out to the Eagles for real. Okay.
I love
the next one is from Sylvia O'Bell, who as a member of the entertainment industry, I'm going to tell you, this gave me a deep kiki in my soul. Sylvia goes, if only Sierra could get y'all to talk about her music this much. LOL. And I had to kiki because I was like, every time I hear Sierra, it's about her in relation to somebody or something she's did.
About her husband, about her man, or something else. Yeah, her in future.
She dropped a new album, right? Now, my favorite is Garen Keith Gaynor, who writes, everyone deserves respect, whether you're marriage material or girlfriend material. Let's start demanding men to grow the up and stop being emotionally unavailable children. Sierra should know. And as shady as that is...
I felt wounded word. Just
grab your pearls. Grab your pearls.
I literally am right now.
Now we're gonna get. Now can I get doopy deep?
Oh my God. Let's get doopy deep.
How are you with your past, which is fully documented on several social media forums, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc., etc., etc.? How are you standing up there trying to pontificate, sweetheart, when